Hey, this is Bobby Hitz, and I'm chatting with Staxx.
Welcome to this episode of Chatting with Staxx. I'm your host, Bill Staxx, and today I got Bobby Hitz.
What's up, Staxx? How are you?
How you doing? I'm doing
I'm
great.
doing well.
How have you been?
Yeah, good. Good deal.
Yeah, things have been great, man. They've been really moving in a positive direction. I can't be more happier than where I'm at right now. You know?
That's good. That's good. That's all. Every day you start fresh and you keep setting your goals, and the harder you work, the luckier you'll get.
I know. Every opportunities just present themselves like left and right.
Right.
It's pretty crazy. So, where were you born and raised? Where did your beginnings start?
On the west side of Chicago. West side of Chicago Avenue, basically.
And you're a boxer.
I was a fighter. Yeah.
You were a boxer. What got you into the sport? Did you get into a fight? And if you did, what was your first fight? Can you walk me through it?
I was probably first grade or second grade. Ali was fighting Frazier. Maybe the first fight. And you just pick sides. It was, that back then that was big news. And then
Can't hear you.
gave him a beating for cutting in front of me, and it just blossomed from there. Yeah.
You gave someone a beating for cutting in front of you
in a drinking fountain line. Yeah. I still remember. I know the kid's name and everything, but yeah. Gave him a crack, gave him a black eye, everything.
Oh,
and
so
then the Ali Foreman, Ali Frazier thing. We were in first or second grade. We were fighting with these fourth graders over it. Me and this kid Bobby Mraz fought these fourth grade kids over it. So yeah, we were always fighting.
So where did your life take you from there? What did you want to be when you grew up?
I didn't know. I didn't know. I really didn't know. It just kind of evolved. I've gotten to pretty much do everything in life I set out to do. Been around some of the most interesting people, guys that they make movies about. I mean, life has been really good. So.
And how did you fall into the boxing career? Did you pursue it at a young age or?
Oh, okay. So it's I'm out for my run, and I used to run by this barber shop every day. And one day the barber comes out with his smock on and says, "Hey kid, come here." And I come back and I say, "Yeah, what's up?" He says, "I see you running every day. What are you doing?" I go, "I'm a fighter." He goes, "Do you have a manager?" I said, "No." He goes, "I'll be your manager." He goes, "Come and see me tomorrow. I'll be at the fest. Come and see me tomorrow at the fest." There's a big fest going on, right? So I go to the fest, and as I'm walking through the fest, I'm walking up to where a group of guys were standing. There was a guy standing there with the Zanzibar slacks on, the nice shoes, with a Dago tee with a short sleeve shirt on, just like something out of a movie, right? And sunglasses on, and he looked like a guy. So the barber introduced me to him. He says, "It's my brother-in-law, and we're gonna manage you." I said, "Okay, fine, no problem." I didn't know these guys or nothing. And,
how old are you? How old were you at the time?
I was probably about 20, maybe. But prior to that, like my uncle would host a card game, like every Friday night. And I'd come down the stairs. We'd be going out. Me and my cousin Dino. We'd be going out, and he would go, "The next heavyweight champion of the world, Bobby Hitz," and all the guys. But it was all kind of fellas down there, guys who were pretty prominent around Chicago. Were all there, so I got to be around all that stuff from a young age. Got to see it and be around it. And when I turned pro, We had um, there was a gentleman who was very well known. He was a Chicago guy, but he was in Vegas running it, and his brother had gotten behind me with them, and the goal was to turn me pro and then push me through to the world title in Las Vegas because our guy from Chicago was running Vegas at the time, and that was him and his brother that were kind of not kind of were definitely involved when I turned pro. So
Oh, so when you're around these games and things, was there any altercations that took place?
no, 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 nothing like that. No, no, it was all everybody knew their place. Everybody was always very respectful, and um, nobody got out of line. Trust me. Not with this crew of guys. Nobody got out of line. These were the guys. So
Yeah. Yeah, I was speaking to someone today that was locked up with James Marcello.
Jimmy's a good friend of mine. Very good friend of mine.
Yeah.
Very nice man. Yeah, good friend of mine. Yep. Nice guy. Very nice guy. I remember I was having a problem with Don King, and um, he asked if I needed some help. I said, no, no, I'm fine. I got it handled. No problem. So Jimmy's a good guy. He's a very nice man. I know what they're doing to him is just cruel, but that's another
So
story.
I met Tyson a couple weeks ago. Shout out to
Yeah,
Mike Tyson. Yeah, he's a great
yeah,
guy.
yeah. I'm glad he's changed his ways. He was a surly bastard when I got to meet him, so I'm glad he's changed his ways. He's reinvented himself, almost kind of like how George Foreman did. How George reinvented himself, same thing.
So your road to being a pro, it was no bumps in the road, nothing.
Oh my God, always, yeah. I mean, it was horrific. Yeah, it was always something. You know, but out of all of that, anything that detrimental that happened to me, I've used it in my career as a promoter to help these young fighters, and I've also taken those experiences and used them. You know, I'm a union actor, so in my acting world, I've been able to channel some of those experiences and the guys I was around, and I got to play a reoccurring role in a show called Mob Doctor with William Forsythe, who was a great actor in his own right. Um, Michael Madsen also worked with us, and um, Mike Starr, who was Frenchie in Goodfellas, and Madsen and Bill. They need no introduction. Anybody who's watches movies or television knows who those guys are.
Yeah.
But so my role in that of a show called Mob Doctor, I got to really channel what I was around, what I saw, what I got to be involved in, and use that in my role as an actor. So it was pretty. It was good. It was good life experiences.
Did you play the doctor in the movie?
No, no, I play the mob boss's right hand guy. So William Forsythe is the mob boss, and I'm his right hand guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So you can you walk me through when you first turned pro?
Mhm.
What's that like? Like what and what's the
Well,
what's the
I get so my very first pro fight was in Hammond, Indiana, and I remember the boxing commissioner coming up to me and say he was chewing on a little perotti, and he say, "Hitz, let me talk to you." He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "You got all them guys from from Tony's crew are here." And I said, "Yeah." He goes, "What are you doing with them?" He goes, "Are they involved with you?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, all right, just so I know." He goes, "I made them put their guns in the office." Okay, like this is my pro debut. It's like I'm just looking to fight. Like all this sidebar talk was all secondary.
yeah. Like you're not even involved with that type of stuff, right? You're just there to do your job.
Well, I'm there to be a fighter, yeah, at that
Yeah.
point for that day. For that day, yeah. But you get to be around and see things and do things, and that'll be coming out in my movie. We were writing a screenplay about my life experience, and so I don't want to give everything away, but trust me, It's very interesting, kind of stereotypical, but it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. We already have a treatment done, and um, not a lot of people know kind of where I came from because I've never really talked about it. But I think it's time to um, make a movie about it. So that's what we're talking about. So
That's a big jump from not talking about it to going to the big screen.
yeah, well, it's time because you see a lot of this stuff that's done, and there's these guys that are just classic bullshitters about things and whatever. And there was some series done that they talked about being in Joey Lombardo's neighborhood, and they were on the roof, and like that's all bullshit. There ain't nobody that could have stepped 2 feet in that neighborhood without Lumpy or one of his guys knowing about it. So to me, it's about being authentic about what's real. And unfortunately, a lot of these guys were fringely around or heard stories, so they use that. To me, everything that's gonna come out in my thing is actually true and accurate. It doesn't need an embellishment whatsoever because when it comes out, every single part of that will be true and authentic and real. And thank God
Yeah.
the statute of limitations have run out on most of it. That's all we can talk about it.
Yeah, I talked to a lot of people that were involved with some pretty heavy things. I interviewed someone yesterday, and he was telling me stories, and I'm like, wow, I'm surprised you're not in prison now. Still,
Yeah, yeah. So, but fighting was my first love, and so I was able to do that. And it's all a lot of good things happen because of being a fighter. So I can't you know forgetting where you come from. I've never forgotten where I come from and the
yeah.
road that we took and how we got there. So,
How did the first fight go for you?
oh, I won. I won.
And what was that feeling like? What did you do afterwards?
After the fight,
Yeah,
we went and had a big giant party. It was a big party at
yeah,
our we had like a neighborhood club, and that's where we went back to the club, guys, girls, and it was a good time. But then it was 2 weeks later, I was back in the ring fighting again, and so it was you know then there
so the
came a
fights
point
were
in time.
coming, right? Bang, bang. The
Yeah,
fights kept coming.
yeah, yep, and then our plan that we initially turned pro with kind of got sidetracked because a couple of guys involved had run into some bad luck and were no longer with us, and that was like a year or so after I turned pro. So there went that idea, and then uh, it. I don't.
When
I'm
the
trying to.
indictments
I'm trying to.
when the
I'm trying to say without saying it.
yeah. When the
Yeah.
indictments and things were coming down, right? The family secrets trials going on, the stuff in Las Vegas, the stuff in
Yeah.
Chicago.
Yeah.
What was the atmosphere like for you, and what did that do to your career?
Well, you know a lot of people involved, and literally pretty much everybody involved. You know them, and you know uh, some of the things were very unfortunate. Some of the things were, I don't know, and I think the government, when they have it out for you, like I was doing overnight radio back then, and we had that, what's his name, Jeff Cohen, who was the writer of that. Was his
Jeff
name Jeff
Cohen.
Cohen, I think, or something? Who was the guy that wrote that book? I don't even know. The Family Secrets book. Well, anyways, we had him on as a guest, and I literally like chastised him, saying, "Do you know these men? You've never met these men in your life. All you've done is taken court documents that have been partially fabricated by stool pigeons and beefers, and you wrote a book about it. You don't know what kind of men these are. You don't know how they are with their families. You don't know what kind of gentlemen they were. And quite frankly, I think that it's really kind of unfair and bush that you go and you take something that you know nothing about and write a book about it. And I just think that that's kind of cheap because you never interviewed one of these guys that are in your book, none of them. So how can you talk about that? And I had him
Yeah,
on live radio doing this to him.
yeah, it is Jeff Cohen.
Yeah. So to me, I just thought it was really unfortunate how he did that, because a lot of these guys, you know, I don't know. I don't know. Pretty much everyone involved I knew, and in some way, shape, or form, and it was unfortunate. The
Did
whole
it
thing was
shock you?
unfortunate.
Did it shock you when Nick Calabrese turned state's evidence against his brother?
Well, sure, that always does. But I knew Frank Senior, and I know Frank Junior, and I know all of them. And I got to tell you, like, anytime I was around Frank Senior, he was a gentleman and a half, a very, very nice man. He knew I knew his boys, and he was always really nice to be around. So, I can't. I never saw any of that other side of him that everybody talks about.
Yeah,
Anytime we were around socially, he was always a gentleman. Loved to talk to me about the fights because Frankie was a fighter, and you know, those are all things that that's on their side of the ledger. To me, I've always you judge somebody how they treat you, and
yeah,
he was always very nice. Another man they talked about, Angelo the Hook Lepetri, nice man, gentleman. Um, very interested in the fight game. Kids from his neighborhood were all fighting. They were all fighting under me. So we had some common interest there that I was trying to help these kids with their pro careers. And, that was the extent of my relationship. It was all really through boxing, you know.
so they didn't act like gangsters towards you.
Never, never. I had my first restaurant, and I used to send Angelo a fish salad every Friday. I'd bring a fish salad to his house. He loved the fish salad by me. And I wish I said he gave me $100 bill. Had to be from like 1920. I don't know, to hang in my restaurant. Like, good luck to me, and just
Yeah, yeah,
like just very nice. Nice. You know, um, what people don't realize is that these men are still family guys, and they do things like as far as what I saw, how they were.
yeah,
Loving fathers and uncles and friends, and whatever they did for business, that's what they do for work. Like a doctor isn't always at home operating on somebody, right? He's
yeah,
always, he's barbecuing in the backyard, just being a normal guy, you know? And that's how I saw these fellas, you know what I mean? Even
yeah.
though you might have had an idea of what they do, you know, um, it was nice to have friendships with them. I'll be honest with you. You know?
I hear good things about them, but then you hear the other side in the media, and they paint them out to be like cold-blooded killers and this and that.
Well, all I can say is in what I think about is that nobody, probably in the modern era, I would surmise, who was involved with them in a negative way, didn't ask to be there. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like, did they borrow money? Did they need like whatever the case may be? If, like they say, if you lie down with dogs, you get fleas. If you
yeah.
walk into the devil's den, well, what do you expect to happen? You know, I don't know. That's just my take on it.
A lot of them
You
know
know,
what they signed up for, I think, too.
right, right. So so to me, and you see movies and you see documentaries and you see all sorts of things that come out, and it's like, I don't know. To me, I think about people like outside of their portrayal, how they're being portrayed by the public, because as well as I do, the media sensationalizes and bullshits and lies and throws their twist on things, and outside of that, like I said, someone's still a father, an uncle, a son, whatever the case may be, and you know, um, I'm not going to downplay like some of these guys who had experiences within their own family. That's
Yeah,
their thing. That's their thing, and they're entitled to have that. You know what I mean? Um, because I didn't live in their house. I don't know what they went through. But from a detrimental perspective, all of that has certainly had a detrimental effect on a lot of people, a lot of families, so and a lot of friends, because you know, these men who met their demise were friends with people. So nobody likes to see a loved one go or whatever happens. So like, I guess none of it's good, right? None of it's
No.
good, but it's like I love seeing some of these sites where guys chime in and say stuff, and it just kind of sometimes makes me laugh that these guys wouldn't know a real gangster if it hit them right between the eyes. Like they like the things that they comment about. Oh, that guy did this or this guy went there. Like, the fuck do you know what they did? It's all hearsay, secondhand. Unless you were there, like I don't get these guys that jump on these sites and talk about stuff when they don't even have firsthand knowledge of it.
Like you said, the guy wrote the book with what court records. That's
Yeah,
not what these
yeah,
people were.
or he sat in a trial and listened to them talk. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, here, listen. It's not for me to tell someone how to make a living. All I could tell you is how they were to me, whomever I was around, and always nice and respectful. And likewise, I was always nice and respectful. And and that's my business was my business. Theirs was their business. They did what they did for a living. I did what I did for a living. Would they come to my fights? Yeah. Would they come and support my endeavors? Yes. But they bought a ticket. They brought their guys out. And, like I don't. I can't.
Did,
That's nice.
did you ever have a problem with any of these people?
Never, never, never.
None of their associates or nothing, like trying to act tough with you or none of that?
No, never, never, never.